Hello, everyone. This is Sean from Barry Digital Media, and I hope you are doing well. And today I'm taking a look at Stitch by Google. And I'm not too sure what this platform is about, but my first impressions are is that it's like Figma. And so with Stitch by Google, I'm going to be able to create website designs and also mobile applications and design the flow of it and be able to do things like collaborate with my team members. If I take a look at some of their posts here, it does build upon that. So in this example here, it looks like it is a website or an app where we can see the different pages inside the website mode, and we can kind of see the flow, what's happening here, and making sure that everything looks like the brand is on cue and looks like everything is put together well. However, or so it does look like on X's feed here that they did put this post here saying all those years refusing to learn Figma are finally paying off. And there we have Leo kind of self-congratulating himself and taking in the moment. Yeah, so let's figure out exactly what Gemini has to say about Stitch. Google Stitch is an AI native design canvas and UI prototyping tool developed by Google Labs that allows users to generate high fidelity web and mobile interfaces using natural language images or voice commands. Originally debuted at Google I/O in May 2025 as Gemini powered experiment. The platform received its most significant update in March 2026 with the introduction of Vibe Design, capabilities in Infinite Canvas, and a voice canvas mode for real time conversational editing. As a product within Google Labs ecosystem, it is owned by Google Alphabet and is currently overseen by Google Labs leadership team, which focuses on integrating advanced generative AI models like Gemini 2.5 into rapid product exploration and developer workflows. And so I asked if this is like Figma. While Google Stitch is often compared to Figma, it functions more as an AI native brainstorming and rapid prototyping engine than a traditional high control design suite. Unlike Figma's blank canvas approach, where you manually drag elements and manage auto layouts, Stitch starts with Vibe Design, using text, voice, or images to generate high fidelity interactive UI screens in seconds. It excels at the 0 to 1 phase, letting you iterate on layouts and user flows through conversation and even exports clean HTML or CSS or editable layers directly into Figma for final polishing. While it lacks Figma's deep design management in granular pixel pushing tools, it is significantly faster for founders and developers who need to move from concept to clickable prototype without manual drawing. So that's very interesting. And the things that really caught my attention in that blurb is that I'm able to export clean HTML and CSS, or go right into Figma with it. So something like this might not compete directly with Figma. It might help you get the first step in and then bring it into Figma, so then you can make it more professional level. And so this is what Stitch looks like. It looks pretty basic, and it doesn't really have too many examples here on the left-hand side. I took a look at a couple of them, but I wasn't too impressed by them. But so really what I'm trying to do these days is I'm trying to think of a new website design for my own website, and that's what this is here. And I think what I want to do with it is bring in some like interactivity, bring in something more high contrast or something that allures the viewer much more than what I currently have. Really inspired by my last video, I think it was Oma AI. I'm looking for that interactive feature. So I don't think this is exactly what you would typically put into a general Stitch prompt. I think usually what I would say is something like, I want an app that would be good for a restaurant, or I want an app that is a good CRM, something like that. But I'm going to go for something interactive. A playful, colorful, space themed background with a fun and imaginative style. Include large floating objects like planets, stars, moons, rockets, and comets. Use bright, vibrant colors such as purple, blue, pink, and neon accents. The object should feel oversized and slightly cartoon like with soft shapes and smooth gradients. The scene should feel lively and dreamy, with a sense of depth but not too busy. Add subtle glowing effects, sparkles, and light trails to create movement. Keep the composition balanced with open space so it works well as a website background. Do not include any text, URL elements, buttons, or logos. The image should be seamless and suitable as a full screen background. I'm just thinking about whether or not if I want all these different things inside of it. You know what? Okay. Okay, let's just go with this. So I am doing the web version of this. I'm using 3.0. I'm not too sure about how Stitch is going to bill you. Like with the OMA, I only had 50 credits and really only had like 2 strokes that I could use, which of course is appreciated, but okay, it's whipping up an image. Okay. This is not what I was hoping for at all, but that's okay. Yeah, that definitely isn't what I was looking for at all. I mean, I think the image generation is nice if I was trying to get something like that, but no good. Okay, so let's try something a little bit different. Let's try. You know what? I already have something loaded up. Okay. So I don't think that this prompt is going to work, but let me see if I can reduce it. I was going to see if I could make a game with it, but I don't think it's going to go that deep. Okay. Oops. I jumped ahead slightly. This is what I'm going to promote afterwards. I basically created a game. I created a Google Play store, and I have one app already there, but more apps are going to come. So if you want to support me, then check out one of those apps. Let's see. So going back to Stitch here. What native mobile app shall we design? Let's create create for me a smoothing space theme app that is meant to give a sense of calm. Have light animations, immersive elements. Can I go 5 pages with different variations? Okay, let's just go with this. I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna get with putting something like this in here, but I think this is what it's all about, is you have to keep on poking these elements and trying to figure out exactly what you can do with them. Is this asking me a question? No. like how I have a brand board here. You can see that we have several different pages loading up here. So I am happy about that because that is what I asked for. It is taking some time to generate it, but I'm not upset by that at all, considering that it does seem to be getting closer to what I wanted with this prompt, and the design that I can see is actually quite nice. So, okay, it does look like it's done now. I do see one sort of issue with the footer here on this middle design doesn't seem to be all the way down. I really like all the different images that it created with it. I like this picture, although I don't think that it's very calming. It almost looks apocalyptical instead of, or apocalypse-like. Yeah, so I think it did a really nice job this time around. Let's try adding a sleep timer. All right, it looks like we have another screen here. I'm going to try this play button, see exactly what it does. Oh, okay, let's wait. Okay, it looks like it's generating the prototype. Okay, excellent. Peace in the vastness. Okay, so very nice. Overall, it did seem to build a prototype app, and overall, it's quite solid. Although you can definitely tell that there's really two big issues with it that I see, and part of this I think is just the prompt that I put in. There doesn't seem to be a clear direction between all the different frames that I had there, so it doesn't really make sense. What I would have to do with this version is I would have to chop it up in 20 different ways, so then I would get something that's workable and nice. Plus, I mean, it doesn't. And so the other thing is, it didn't really develop a product, and I don't think that this platform is necessarily designed to generate that platform. At least not at this, or to develop that product. It seems to give you the shell of the product, but I think you would have to go to. I think you would have to do some hard coding in order to get that. And then a lot of the functionality on the app here it is lacking as well. So I think if we go back to that original description of it, it does seem to be able to give you a very strong concept in a matter of seconds. If you needed something for a client in an hour, then you'd be able to bring this out and you'd probably get something that's very workable, and you'd probably be able to go into a meeting and show them essentially the direction that you want to go in for your product, and you'd probably be able to um, get the the client on board, although there would still be a large amount of work afterwards. But I mean, if I put all that to the side, I definitely see that a lot of strong there's a lot of strong design even in this concept that was generated in 2 minutes. I mean, if I'm looking at this page, the font is nice, everything is nicely laid out. I like the little things that it brought in here, like this quote. I like this idea where it looks like it's giving me how long it's going to be for the moon phase. It looks like it gives me some other options here as well. And then it also even considered making like a settings page as well, with potentially some different themes that I could go through, and then maybe this idea. So let's say if if I'm taking a look at this page here, I like how it gave me the option where potentially if I don't really like this big explosion of a nebula, then maybe I can tone down these nebulas a little bit. So that's another thing that I do like about it, is it is throwing different ideas at me. So then I can decide whether or not I want to keep those, or it might even inspire another idea. And then I do like these as well, because you want to make sure that your clients are engaged, or your users at this point are engaged with your content. So it's nice how it put those reminders in there. What's this over here? Okay, not functional, but again, it's nice. It's nice. It looks like it brought in a location feature into this app. And then it also even brought in like a search bar. So then maybe if I put something like Florida or Texas or California or Canada or Mexico, then potentially I could get some results there. It also brought in some like journaling and some observatory data. Maybe it even brought in like an article, maybe even in a live stream. I'm not sure what this rocket down here was. I think what the direction of this rocket down here was. Maybe it could be like a chat AI within the app. So yeah, really nice. It could bring a lot of potential. So I think that is where I'm going to wrap things up. Um, and okay, so I just pressed the back button, and I really like this view as well. And so again, I have my theme, my brand board, and then I can see all the different pages here that I have inside of my project. I like how it has the point form on the left hand side here. And here we go. Here's all the abilities where I can edit my pages. Maybe let's try one more. Okay. Um, so what should I think about? What should we attempt to do here? Do you have maybe if I can bring in a design here? So marathon, dog walking, Pure Cyberpunk Aesthetics. I like that design. Strategic Hub. Data reporting. Okay, let's jump back to Stitch here. Let's go back to creating an app. So the best idea that I got from that was create for me a Okay. Create for me a presentation app for Google I/O event in 2030. Be sure to talk about space travel, gaming in space, robotics, AI, how people will live and travel in space, Google's advancements. Be sure to have an experience that flows from one page to the next seamlessly. Use dark colors in colorful light highlights. Add a help character that follows you from one page to the next that you can talk to. Consider connecting to Google Smart Home Tech. One change I would make there, just Google's branding. It's usually white, so doing that. Colorful. Okay, so I just made a quick change there to change from my original dark theme that I was aiming towards Google's theme. And I'm hoping that it's going to pick up on it. So now we just have to wait for its development. There it seems to have summarized the project. And it does seem to be looking at a keynote intro, life in orbit, the new frontier, gaming and robotics, Google Interstellar, in your galactic guide. Okay. Those colors do look like Google colors. Again, we are now in that waiting phase. We have 3, oops. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screens that it's created for us. All right, very nice. So it's not done yet, but it's already looking like some of Google's theme here. Although I was hoping for a couple text pieces where it would go from one color to the next, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, it's still designing it, so let's give it a few more moments here. Okay, definitely taking a little bit of time to create it. But again, these prompts, sometimes they take a couple minutes, and usually what I like to do is if I put in a prompt, I like to put in the prompt, walk away for 10 minutes, and then come back later. And the nice thing about that is while you're away, at least I will come up with 4 or 5 other ideas that I could have changed in the prompt or put inside my results once they are done. It does look like I am able to choose different Gemini models to do this with. I could go with 3.1, so then it takes a little bit more time. And then it does look like I have a redesign. So, okay. I was just looking at that redesign there, and I am looking to redesign my website at some point. But I was hoping what I could do is just put in the URL for my website and then have Stitch here do the entire thing from start to finish. But that's not what I'm looking at. I am wondering whether or not if it has bugged out on me. It should still be running in the background, so I'm just going to give the page a quick refresh. Okay, no, it is taking its time. That's no problem. Yeah, so while it's doing that, I'll go back to my app and talk about that for 2 minutes. But yeah, I created an app recently. It's the first app that I've created for the phone, and you can have it on Google Play, and it's basically a card game. It's a variation of Castle or Palace, where essentially you just want to get rid of all the cards in your hand. And you start by having 3 cards face down, 3 cards face up, and then 3 cards inside of your hand. And then you try to go through that hand, or you try to go through your hand and the deck that's on the table there. There's about 35 cards, I think, at the starting deck. And then you're also going against the computer, the AI. And the AI, still going. And the AI here is going to try to get rid of their own cards before you do. There are 9 levels of cards, or there are 9 levels of AI that you can go through. And I did just add a leaderboard to it. So I'm hoping that I do generate a little bit of competitive interest inside of the game. That's basically what the game looks like. I do have these really nicely created card backings in them, and then also the cards themselves are nice. In my recent update, I did add some additional themes. I am hoping to create nicer themes as I go. Okay, so this may have bugged out. We'll give it one more minute. Yeah, I've created different themes inside of it. There's a little bit of a story that goes along with it as well. And yeah, check it out if you like. Okay, yeah, I think we're done now. I'm not sure what it took that extra little bit of time for, but let's get into it. Okay, what do we got here? So we have our themes, and then we have what I assume is the very first page here. Google Home Interstellar Edition. Control your habitat from light years away, connecting Earth intelligence to the Outer Rim's architecture. There seems to be the bot there. Seems to have some general information. Okay, a little bit more on the assistant there. Plan my space commute, optimize my habitat, find a gaming session, talk about Google AI, life in orbit. I like how it made a space station there. Dynamic life support. I do. Okay, this time it seems to have gotten the footer bar there mostly right. And on every page, although this last one seems to be missing. But talking about gaming and some zero lag. And you know what? This looks actually like the front screen here. So okay. Let's try pressing the play button here and just seeing what happens. Okay, very good. We have our app here. Okay, the bottom buttons don't work, so that looks like something that would have to be set up later. No, I'm not sure how to get to the next page. I guess I can just do that. So that works like a PowerPoint. Okay, very good. Oh, look at that. Yeah, so that would be very nice. And now what I'm wondering, okay, so that's probably what I can do is I can probably make it shareable and then get a link and then send it to my client's phone and then be able to see this online. Okay, great. Well, I hope that this was helpful for you, and I hope you have a good day.